critics are praising Season 3 of Star Trek Picard as the best thing since sliced bread. But is that really the truth? After 2 seasons of Picard, many are left wondering where the third and final season can take this storyline. However, Star Trek The Next Generation is here, and by that we mean Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 1, titled The Next Generation. Not only is the episode and series a reunion of our Next Generation crew, but it is the next generation that Star Trek has to offer. The question remains, will the season push the boundaries of the show, all while honouring what has come before it? Let's take a look. Spoiler warning. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack. To keep up to date with the latest Star Trek Picard reviews, previews and much more, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. We've got plenty of breakdowns, explanation videos and theories coming to you over the next 10 weeks. It's gonna be exciting. Sadly, Trek Central did not get advanced screeners for Season 3 of Picard. That means we've only seen one episode, like you. However, that is not stopping us from delivering you quality content. The best part about not getting them, you ask? Well, it means we can enjoy the third and final season alongside you all. Therefore, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll be theorizing right alongside you, so let's do it together. Now, if you're talking about Star Trek, we want to hear about it. I'm going to include some of your comments in some upcoming videos, so get typing. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go. Engage. This episode wastes no time establishing where we are. We're thrown into the mix of Gates McFadden as Dr. Beverly Crusher. She's straight into the action, as it appears to us that she and her son, which we'll get to in a moment, are on the run from some villains who are after her for some unknown reason. Why she's being chased is not made clear in the first episode, but whoever is after him is wasting no time attacking a ship and causing damage. It's worth noting that Beverly's son, who is played by actor Ed Spelliers, mentioned that these mystery aggressors change faces. They do appear to be wearing masks, so the question of who they are actually remains up in the air. We learn that whoever is after him changed faces and has been hunting them for quite a while now. Changelings, maybe? This probably explains them using Alachi ships from Star Trek Online, using other species' ships so they can remain hidden. They even mentioned being chased after at Exoport, which was the place Captain Saavik of the USS Titan NCC 1777 had a mission, which you can find out more about in our Captain Saavik YouTube short, available here on the channel and on TikTok and Instagram Reels. We've known for quite a while this season will start not with our titular character of Picard, but with Beverly instead. As viewers, we're treated to reminders of Beverly's life via panning shots before we actually see her. These do include relics of her past. A prime example of this is the Starfleet locker for Lieutenant Commander Jack Crusher, which was, of course, her husband and best friend of Jean-Luc Picard. There was also lots of TNG-era medical equipment lying around. This is a reminder that Beverly's a doctor, first and foremost, and not this badass wielding a phaser shotgun rifle thingy. Speaking of that, I've got to say I love the action element. Seeing McFadden arm herself and defend her ship and son was fantastic. However, the part which sticks out and somewhat we're about to learn more about is Beverly cutting contact with her friends and former crew. It seems like following the events of Star Trek Nemesis, Beverly vanished off the face of the Earth. She's now commanding this old TNG-era starship, the USS Helios, and working as a doctor without borders. What's the answer here? Seeing Picard and Riker interact again is so nice. We got it in Season 1 too, but this is really nice just how more involved he is in the plot, and the interactions he has with Picard. The humour between the two is just a joy to see, and it would be fine with an hour-long discussion for an episode just between Riker and Picard. Them complaining about their knees, joking about the good old days, making fun of each other, it's just a pleasure to watch.
From fear or the thought of seeing Beverly?
Both.
Terrific. Your hands are stiff, my knees are killing me. So long as we don't have to move or shoot, we should be fine.
The comedy between the pair is what stands out for me, in a good way. It's basically two old friends going on a road trip. Even better, not just the characters as friends, but the actors as well. Both Sir Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes have such good chemistry together. I hope we see that with the rest of the Next Gen crew as we go into Season 3. We really need to see Worf sparring with Riker once again. Now, Riker is back in Starfleet fully, especially after coming out of active reserve in Season 1 and is described by Picard as an elder statesman of Starfleet. Now, we do know from some ancillary material, the Star Trek logs on Instagram for example, that Riker was involved with the USS Titan A construction, as he was the former captain of the Lunar-class USS Titan. So the ship's systems in the Titan A, which Captain Shaw, are actually from the Lunar-class Titan, the more you know. However, not all is good with Riker, as there seems to be family problems on the horizon, with Deanna Shaw and their daughter Kestra. It isn't explained what the problem is, and I'm sure we'll find out, especially knowing that we will see Marina Sirtis as Deanna later in the season. Oh, fun note here. Did you catch a mysterious man in Guinan's bar who was observing Riker and Picard as they left? Perhaps they are being followed all this time, or rather Starfleet is keeping tabs on what two of their former legends are up to. Okay, let's talk ships. The Neo Constitution class USS Titan A, NCC 80102A, is majestic. We have seen a lot of it in trailers. It's even in the opening Trek title screens of this series, that they customized for each season of New Trek. But getting an iconic Trek flyby of a ship in space dock was truly amazing. Not as long as the motion picture, mind you, but it was still pretty good. Not only are all the ship shots beautiful, but also perfectly lit, still giving us that darkness of space, but balancing it by lighting our ships in a way where you can actually see how detailed they actually are. We get numerous ships in this episode, not just the Titan A or the SS Ilios. Continuing on from Season 2, we also do see a lot of Star Trek Online ships. For example, the Southern class and Reliant class. Oh, and we do get a glimpse of the Odyssey class Enterprise F. It's in the news article seen detailing what is going on at the decommissioning and Frontier Day. Now, it's going to have a final flight during the upcoming Frontier Day, so we do have that to look forward to. We actually learned that a couple of days ago from Star Trek logs on Instagram the ship was going to be decommissioned. There is a lot of new lore to process here. Check it out, or our article on new lore over on TrekCentral.net. Another very cool ship we see in this episode, also in the L-Cars display, is the Pathfinder class from Star Trek Online. The ship was not present in Season 2 or in any trailers, so if we do get a Pathfinder class ship in the season, this is a cool place to set it up, especially as is the USS Voyager B. That's pretty cool. Okay, going back to the Titan, we get a look at its new crew. We got a rundown of the crew previously by showrunner and writer Terry Matalas, which we have covered in a previous video here on the channel, so if you are interested in this new crew, check out the video. One crew member we will touch on in this review, however, is Sydney Crash LaForge. Her interacting with Picard and Riker telling us her nickname origin because she crashed 2 ships during the Academy. It's a nice moment, and Riker is just the ultimate dad.
Oh.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Okay, let's talk about Captain Shaw, played by Todd Stashwick. He was introduced to us before the season began as this very by-the-book captain. And though that is the case, with some similarities to Jellicoe being given, I like this character. From the very get-go, he comes across as very antagonistic towards our favourite characters, Picard, Riker and Seven. Why is this? We don't know yet. He could just be a jackass like Jellicoe, or there could be more to it. Of course there's more to it. From the start, he is not present to greet his guests, i.e. 2 senior officers, handing him off to his first officer, 7 of 9. They get a little tour and will only meet the captain at a much later dinner. When we get to that dinner, he is already eating without them, which is a common basic courtesy to wait for people before starting food. I will say, it is hilarious to see that they have this whole fancy dinner setup, and the food of choice is what looks to be blue steak. Very sci-fi, blue milk anyone. At this dinner, he essentially attacks every member at the table, even his first officer. The man gets gifted a bottle of Chateau Picard by Jean-Luc, but says he's a Malbec man in an almost dismissive way. I mean, I'll have the bottle if you don't want it, Todd, or Liam, I'll take it. He does talk about how hard he had to scrub the Titan ship systems of all of Riker's jazz, preferring more classical music. And then with Seven essentially dead naming her and wanting her to be called Annika Hansen, and not Seven as she's known. Then insulting her at the table of guests in that loyalty should be of the ship and not of X-Borg, referring to Picard. But then he seems to say that he probably had some issues with the Borg, whether this was in his previous Starfleet career, like a Battle of Wolf 359, or perhaps a Battle of Sector 001, or just something personal we may have yet to find out. He even refused to go along with the ruse of going to the writing system, though I don't think it was him catching on, more him just being stubborn and being a bit of an ass. As expected, the captain is not too happy to find out they have ended up in the writing system.
What the hell is this?
His reaction to this is very interesting. It's also rather interesting to note his crew's reaction to his comments towards his first officer. They don't seem to trust his judgment or agree with it. Whether we see more of this later on does remain to be seen, and hopefully it does expand on it. At first, I was worried about the Raffi storyline in this episode, but it pulled a 180 and worked extremely well. Raffi was down on her luck, but when it turns out it was just a cover story for her Starfleet intelligence work and Operation Daybreak. Whether she has actually broken up with Seven, and if so, whether it was amicable, we don't know. I hope if they did break up, it was a nice split, even though it does feel like bi-erasure in a sense, and we'll go more into that in a separate video. She was a former Starfleet intelligence officer in her background for Star Trek Picard, so it's nice to see she's back doing this, with a mysterious handler and trying to find some experimental tech stolen from the Daystrom Institute facility. This is some quantum tunneling tech, which basically acts like a portal gun from Portal.
Go! We're in space!
Space.
Let go! Let go! I'm still connected!
Or it looks like a portal from Multiverse of Madness, one or the other. She does figure out where this experiment tech is going to be used for a terrorist attack, a Starfleet facility at Matalas Prime, which is obviously named after Terry Matalas, come on. The attack is on a dedication ceremony of Rachel Garrett's statue. Yes, they finally remember Captain Rachel Garrett of the USS Enterprise C. Now we have seen this attack previously in trailers. The Starfleet building gets destroyed. We theorize it being destroyed to ground underneath it, which kind of does, but with it being a portal gun, it makes sense the Starfleet building just fell through into a portal, which is then it getting dumped on the surrounding area. Bad luck, everybody. Now, I am really happy that a portal gun is a big dangerous weapon in this series. It feels great, it's also a meme at the same time. Are the perpetrators of this act the same villain as Vadik and her goons that we've seen in the trailer? We'll have to wait and see to find out, or maybe there's more than one villain. Okay, let's talk about Picard's age. It's a common thread brought up, woven throughout this episode. He is considering writing his memoirs at the beginning. He's not up to date with a standard Starfleet protocol, and he doesn't know that Deep Space 4 is shut down for just over a year. Seasons 1 and 2 both deal with Picard's past. Season 1 of the backstory of a Romulan relocation fleet and the grief of a Data, while Season 2 about his own childhood history. So what is there left for Season 3 to deal with? His legacy. He says he doesn't want a legacy, but he is Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, former captain of the flagship of Starfleet and the United Federation of Planets. That seems to be what this season is about. What legacy will Picard leave on the galaxy? What will the mark he leaves on his illustrious organization be? It is nice to see the first thing we see of Picard is his relationship with Laris. That was established in Season 2. I don't think Laris is a big important aspect of Season 3, so we won't see much of her going forward. She does seem to be going on some sort of diplomatic mission on the Romulan colony of Chatlock 4. This concept is a prime opportunity for a novel, Laris, a former Romulan spy, doing diplomatic functions between the Federation and the Romulan Free States. Whether Picard will join Laris on Chatlock 4, die in the season, or go back to Beverly, who knows. But with everything we have seen and the fact this is set up in this episode, I am fascinated to see where it does go at the end of Season 3. This episode was written by Picard Season 3 showrunner Terry Matalas and directed by Doug Aronofsky. As with all Picard prior, this season will also have directors working on 2 episode blocks, so we look forward to Doug directing the next episode as well. But don't worry, the legendary Jonathan Frakes also turns to direct later episodes in this season. Those we're very much looking forward to, especially considering he's acting in some of them as well. As a whole, this feels like a brand new show. We even heard Terry Matalas wanting it to be called something else, like Star Trek Destiny or rather Star Trek Legacy, and that would have totally worked. I might even be as bold as to say that this is what we wanted from Picard from the get-go. While the first 2 seasons do tell interesting stories, I think this is what Star Trek fans wanted to see from the series' premise. However, we're here now, let's get on and enjoy what we've got and what we've wanted all along. The openings for the episode are much quicker, which I massively prefer, giving us the title screen and the episode title, and a very good going. The "in the 25th century" at the beginning was also a very nice touch to tell us where we are in case you didn't know. Even though we say this is a very much a different show, it still honours what came before it. Not just with Laris, Raffi and Seven, but with how this episode starts. It starts with a fantastic view of space, and then we see a small ship in these nebula and spatial anomalies in the background. And the music playing? A classic song of I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. This may sound familiar, because episode 1 of season 1 of Picard started with a fantastic view of space, the Galaxy-class Enterprise D flying through them, and a classic song of Blue Skies. It's almost like poetry, it rhymes.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme, hopefully it'll work.
As said previously, the VFX in this episode is just gorgeous to behold, from all the various ship shots to even locations. The VFX team did an amazing job, and so much credit needs to be given to them. From the opening shots of the Federation star bases to the LCAR credits at the end of the episode. All of this is fantastic and done in such great detail. I'm telling you, if they don't win an award for this, it'll be a crime. And talking this new ending to the episodes, there's a lot of cool details in there, and we'll break it down in another video, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. You don't want to miss that. One of my only real complaints with this episode, and perhaps the series Picard, is a lot of the people seem pretty miserable. I was kind of disappointed to learn that Riker and Deanna Troi might be having marriage troubles. Yes, relationships sometimes take a bit of damage and, they have to have a break, but come on, can't our characters catch a break? Like, really? It's also just typical that 7 of 9 has to be stuck with a Starfleet jerk captain. Like, really, where's Captain Harry Kim when you need him? Likely these storylines will develop over the course of the next 9 episodes. With Riker, we know Deanna is showing up at some point, so we've got that to look forward to. But damn, I hope this season has a somewhat happy ending, And also, my other gripe is I hope that Seven and Raffi's relationship wasn't just erased for not having enough room, because eliminating the gay couple feels a bit odd there. We'll discuss this more later as we go through the season. It's only the first episode, and as we said earlier, this could be a ruse for Raffi and Starfleet, so who knows? We've got to discuss more of it later. Now, some complaints I have seen in this episode makes a lot of references to earlier Star Trek. Personally, all the references in this episode felt natural and worked in the universe. How the episode deals with these references can be seen as heavy-handed, but it works for me and the team here at Trek Central. Going forward into future episodes, we've got to see if Picard can stick the landing. Our issues of previous seasons and storylines are setting up a lot, but failing to deliver. Here with episode 1, the seeds of a mystery and conspiracy have been planted. However, there was also a reveal of a villain to be expected. It almost happens at the end of this episode with the Shrike appearing and then cutting to black. My hope is that Amanda Plummer's villain of Captain Vadic will be fearsome and really keep us on edge.
Warp field, destabilized.
Well, chaps, I have to say you're doing a piss-poor job of saving anything.
We have somewhat glossed over Crusher's son in this review, and there isn't much to say at this stage. We have theorized for a while that this is Crusher's son, and perhaps Picard's as well. There's still more to find out, so at this current point we are interested. We can't really comment much on it, but it's a very cliche at the end of the day. As mentioned earlier, the first 6 episodes of the season are doing well with critics and reviewers. However, the general fan consensus is really what matters. It's worth noting this episode is dedicated to Annie Wershing. She portrayed the Borg Queen in Season 2 of Picard, and unfortunately passed away a couple of weeks ago. It's very nice that the creators of the show put this in a way to honour her, and we'll always remember her for a fantastic performance in Season 2. So, what did you think of the first episode of Star Trek Picard Season 3? Has it scratched your itch for more Star Trek The Next Generation content? Are you looking forward to the season continuing? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget, Trek Central will be live on YouTube this Sunday to discuss the episode along with you all. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.